Now, a number of fires are burning across the Australian state of Victoria, with emergency services on edge. The entire state is under a warning of extreme fire danger, with temperatures of up to 40 degrees Celsius and winds of around 90 kilometres per hour, making it a challenge for firefighters to contain blazes. Well, we can get an update on the situation from Jason Heffernan, Chief Officer at the Country Fire Authority. He's also spokesperson for Victoria State Control Centre. What is the situation right now, and what are you planning for in the days and weeks ahead?
Thanks for having me come on and have a chat with you this evening. Certainly fire conditions across Victoria are, as you described in your opening piece, extreme. We are seeing those 40-degree temperatures, and right now we're starting to see a westerly push come across the state, averaging at around 50 kilometres an hour, or 30 miles an hour in the UK speak. To give people a bit of perspective of the fire that we're dealing with in the Grampians National Park, just in the west of the state of Victoria, it's 143,000 acres, or twice the size of Edinburgh, with approximately 192 miles of fire edge currently active and burning across that. Over 1,000 firefighters are on the ground trying to battle that blaze, whilst those winds are really sort of pushing it to the east. Many communities around that fire are under emergency warning. They've been directed to leave immediately to neighbouring cities and relief centres nearby. It's certainly a challenging day for firefighters, but it's not all about the Grampians fire. There are other fires, as you quite rightfully pointed out, across the state of Victoria, which are currently still contained, but we're really fearful when that wind comes through the rest of the state that they may escape their containment lines and again cause further concern. So many hours for firefighters, being on edge, working within their communities to try and suppress this fire for more time to come. So it's going to be a very challenging day.
Yeah, I mean, scientists, policymakers are pretty much unanimous that these types of events are only going to keep increasing. Are you content, happy with the response and the resources that you've been given to try and fight them?
What we've seen here in Australia has been bushfire seasons. They've been starting earlier than normal. They've been lasting longer than normal. The state of Victoria has seen a period of deficit rainfall, which has led to the conditions that we're experiencing now. Back in winter, we were over 150 millimetres short of our average annual rainfall for much of that part of the state. We didn't see rainfall in winter. We didn't see the rainfall in spring, which has meant we've now come into the summer months with those really high temperatures and those really hot winds, which has led to the fire situation that we have now. Firefighters hopefully will have a reprieve in the next couple of days, which will give them opportunity to try to work on these containments. But unfortunately, in Australia, you go on a cycle, a fire cycle, as we call it, where you have one spike day, which is generally a lot of activity, fire running, generally because of those really high winds, really high temperatures and winds and low relative humidity. Then you go for about 2 or 3 days of benign weather before seeing the next spike day come along. And for Victorian firefighters, that's likely to be on Monday. Certainly not as bad as today, but will also bring some challenges. So, we've brought in interstate assistance from right across Australia, New South Wales, Queensland and Western Australia to bolster local resources. Everyone is out there doing their absolute best to protect local communities. Even the local landholders themselves, the farmers, have been doing a fantastic job this week, ploughing and creating fire breaks, burning breaks and doing everything they can to prepare their properties for what we expect to be and what we are seeing unfold right now are some devastating fire scenes.